Atlanta, Georgia is currently one of the most relocated to metros in the entire country. But why? Well, really, there's only 4 reasons, and I'm going to share those with you right now. Hey everyone, welcome back to Living in Atlanta. This YouTube channel is all about helping you get to know what it's like to live in the Atlanta area. My name's Mark Brenner, and today we're talking about why is everyone moving to the Atlanta, Georgia area. I help a lot of clients relocate here from other states all over the country, and they're all coming for different reasons, but there are some common themes among them all. So I thought it would be great to share some information based on my experience and based on statistics so that you can understand why Atlanta is one of the most popular relocated to metros in the entire country. So let's get right into it. So I've got 4 main reasons here. Really, the majority of people coming here are coming here mainly because of one of these 4 reasons. And I'm going to share these with you in order from least to most common reasoning for moving here. So let's get right into it. Starting at number 4, I have culture and diversity. Now, as you're probably aware, if you're a music fan or a pop culture fan in general, Atlanta has really been sort of at the epicenter of popular culture, certainly music, hip hop, rap. Locally, we have a saying, Atlanta influences everything. We have so many popular musicians, artists, entrepreneurs. Atlanta is truly a creative city that fosters creativity and entrepreneurship and talent. And I think that's a big draw, especially for younger people who are maybe moving from a small town or a city that has a little bit less going on to a city that is really alive in a lot of ways, especially related to art and culture. And going along with this, I also have diversity. Now, to be honest, we're honestly not a true melting pot like a New York, but we are diverse, okay? And in particular, we are one of the blackest cities in America. And it's not just that there are a lot of black people in Atlanta, it's that there are black people thriving at every level of society here. Doctors, lawyers, entertainers, business people, entrepreneurs, professors, tradespeople, everyday retail workers. And listen, I'm white, so I can really only speak very little to this experience. It's not my personal experience, but I've lived here long enough to understand that that must be incredibly inspiring for people, especially black people. Maybe you're coming from a city or a neighborhood that's less diverse, where they see less people of their own race thriving at every level of society. So I mean that in the best way possible. Not only are we at the heart of popular culture and entertainment, but we have a deep, rich history with the civil rights movement. Okay, from Martin Luther King to John Lewis, that history, those stories, that struggle is intertwined in the fabric of the city. And I think that's a legitimate reason why a lot of people move here. And it's not just that we're a black and white city. Of course, we have a large Asian population. We have a large gay population. I think this is a city, in particular, Midtown and other areas inside the perimeter, that people can feel accepted. Even though, yes, we're in the South, there can be some negative stereotypes that go along with that, especially in the city. It's an area where a lot of people are going to feel accepted, especially, again, if they're coming from a smaller town or city where that's not the case. At number 3, I have weather. Now, I always get pushback from locals about this because I always refer to the weather in Atlanta as a very mild climate. Okay, we have a mild climate, but we also have 4 distinct seasons. It's not like LA where it's sunny and 70 throughout the year. We actually have, spring, fall, winter, and summer. They're distinct seasons. But they're not the extremes of the Northeast, like where I grew up, where you had a crazy summer and then a crazy winter, beautiful fall and spring. Okay, yes, summer here is pretty crazy. It gets very humid, especially if you're coming from a less humid climate, like say the Pacific Northwest. The humidity may be a lot for you to handle, but I can tell you after 15 years living here, this is one of the things that is my favorite part of living here. There is a lot of sunny days here, generally just warm weather. Spring and fall to me are absolutely perfect, 70s, breezy, sunny, comfortable. The winter, it does get a little cold, but it really only gets below freezing a couple days out of the year. You might have flurries once or twice a year. There's really no significant snowfall. Generally speaking, winter is short. kind of chilly and rainy. It's really over before you know it. And then, of course, summer. It is long, it is hot, but it really is only like almost unbearable through, I would say, August. Like right now, it's August 28th, I think, and it's really bad right now. It's also the hottest year on record, I think, throughout the country. So, yes, summer is bad, it's long, it's humid, but especially if you're coming from a more extreme climate, like, I don't know, let's say in Michigan or let's say in New York where you have, extremes throughout the year. This is a really nice mild climate. It's not a Florida where it's humid throughout the whole year, so you get some diversity in the climate, but that is definitely a big factor in why so many people are moving here. All right, coming in at number 2, I have cost of living. Now, again, locals will tell you how crazy the cost of living has gotten here compared to a few years ago, but I help a lot of clients from California, New York, Chicago, Texas, and the cost of living, even though our prices have gone up with home sales, is still relatively very low compared to those places. Our average sale point right now in the Atlanta area is about $400,000. And you can imagine what $400,000 is going to get you or not get you in a Southern California, which is where many, many people are moving from. And you don't need $400,000 to purchase property in Atlanta. If you're willing to move into an attached option like a condo or townhome, if you don't need a ton of space, you can certainly purchase a property in the city of Atlanta inside the perimeter, say in the mid 200s, maybe even the low 200s. Now, again, it's going to be a smaller unit. It's going to be an attached unit. Might not be updated, but the point is you can own property in a major metro that's growing like crazy with a lot of opportunity without having to be a millionaire, okay? And look, if you're not ready to buy yet and you're talking about renting, again, rent has gone up like crazy over the last 10 years, but the reality is if you're, bottom of the barrel bargain hunting, you need just to rent a room, you can still do that for maybe $700 to $800. If you need a 1-1 studio, even in an area like Buckhead, that might be $1,200, $1,300. You can probably get by in other areas inside the perimeter for $1,000 or $1,100 for a studio or a 1-bed unit. And even if you wanted to rent an entire single-family detached home, you really only need a budget between $2,000 to $3,000 to do so. And that is obviously not the case in many other places throughout the country, especially some of these more expensive metros that I've mentioned so far. And not only is the cost of living low with the purchase of a house or the rental of a house, but property taxes. I get this comment a lot from people coming from Texas and Chicago in particular. They're shocked at how low the property taxes are. Now, again, if you're local, you're probably saying to yourself, I can't believe how much my property taxes have gone up. But look, I own a house, a pretty typical average size 3-2 house right in the heart of the city, and my taxes are less than $2,000 a year. And they have gone up significantly over the last few years, but needless to say, you're not looking typically at $7,500 a year. $10,000 a year, $15,000, $20,000 a year in property taxes. And I know it can get even crazier for people coming from more expensive markets. So yes, if you buy a mansion in Alpharetta, you might be paying $8,000 to $10,000 a year in property taxes. But on average, if we look at the average price point, average home, you're not going to be near that. You're going to be maybe a few $1,000s a year in property taxes. Obviously, this is going to be highly variable to the cost of your home, the county, and the city that it's in. But generally speaking, compared to the cities where I help the most amount of people relocate here from, property taxes are pretty low in Atlanta, Georgia. All right, and the number one reason why people are relocating to Atlanta, Georgia, we moved through this really quick. I'm happy because I usually ramble on and on and on. It's jobs, okay? People are moving here for the jobs. If you haven't done any research into this, not only do we have a strong economy, we have a diverse economy. We are not dependent on one type of industry like, say, shipping or banking or healthcare. We have all those. We also have TV and film, media, healthcare, we have banking and higher education, we have shipping and logistics, we have tech, IT, software. We have a diverse economy. It's not like if one sector goes down, Atlanta is going to be crippled. Atlanta is literally home to 26 companies that are headquartered here in the Fortune 1000, and 18 of those companies are in the Fortune 500. We have some heavy hitters that are headquartered in Atlanta, like Coke, Home Depot, Delta, UPS, Chick-fil-A, on and on and on and on. This is a fantastic city to start your career, continue a career for a new opportunity, start a business. We talked about the entrepreneurship already. And over the last few years, we have consistently beat the national average for unemployment. And if you've been reading the news, we have a lot of major tech companies increasing their presence in Atlanta, setting up shop, creating secondary headquarters here, companies like Google and Facebook. And why are they coming here? We have a lot of talent. Okay, we have Georgia Tech, we have all the historically black colleges and universities. We have a lot of higher education that fosters diverse tech talent. And all these major tech companies, whether they have the right motivations or not, they want to get more diverse. And we have some of the top diverse talent in the country. And that is causing a lot of these companies to increase their presence here. So by far, both statistically and anecdotally, through all the people that I've helped relocate here, the majority are here for the jobs and opportunity. And this is the reason I'm very bullish on the continued growth of Atlanta. We are stable. We have a strong foundation throughout multiple industries for a very healthy economy throughout the future. So if you're looking to take that next step in your career, if you're looking to start your own business, I can tell you personally as someone who's done that, there's a lot of opportunity here, okay? It's kind of wide open for anyone that wants to do something big in their life, who wants an opportunity to make something of themselves and have a bigger and better opportunity. So why is everyone moving to Atlanta, Georgia? Well, it's the culture and diversity, it's the mild climate, it's the still relatively low cost of living, and it's the jobs. It's the incredible economy that we have here in the Atlanta, Georgia area. So I hope that was helpful for you getting to know why so many people are coming here. Maybe that helped you formulate a decision that you have to make with you and your family. Maybe it just was some interesting information, but I really appreciate you watching. As always, if you'd like to work together, all you have to do is set up an appointment using the Calendly link in the description below. I love it when my viewers become clients. Please subscribe. It's a huge help to my channel. Share this with a friend. Let me know what topics you want me to talk about, and I'll see you next time.